Want to welcome Cloud9's Hai and Dignitas Scarra to the desk. Welcome, guys. How you doing?
Good. Doing pretty good.
Good. So coming in, you guys are facing off in about an hour in our second game of the day. Hai, you first, and Scarra, how do you feel about this match?
Well, I don't know. It went pretty bad for me last time around. I don't really want to remember that, but hopefully this time around it goes much better. So if you'd mind, take it a little bit easy on me. You know?
I'm hoping it's more like last time, but it probably will be a pretty tough game for us.
Now, last time you got Gragas, Scarra.
Yes.
And that is definitely a champion that you know inside and out, one of your favorite champions. I want to know, in the laning phase, is there any way that you can actually pressure Gragas or take advantage of him to sort of do anything up against him just in laning phase early?
I think it's all like up to just skill. Like if you don't play your champion well, like I think there's a lot of champions that can beat Gragas in lane, but most of the people don't play the champion like that great. And or better than I do on Gragas, which is why I win the matchup.
That's a good answer. I didn't expect you to give out any secret weakness for Gragas.
And to be fair to that, like we saw Faker play Riven against Dada's Gragas and kind of pooped all over him. So like what he is saying is right. Riven can win, and I think does have the favor against Gragas. I played it pretty bad. I was too scared of him early game when I should have just jumped on him, and then he hit 6, kind of killed me, and the game was kind of over from there for me. So it's pretty accurate for him to say that's a pretty skilled matchup because Faker kind of pooped on Daddy.
He kind of showed it. Okay, so then I have a question for you guys to press you further on mid lane. So Hai, you've been a professional mid laner for about a year. Before then, you were a professional jungler. Now, Scarra, you've been a mid lane for freaking ever. You've been around for a very long time in the competitive scene. Is there anything you think people don't know because you have this wealth of experience in the mid lane?
I actually don't think experience matters like too much going into every season because the game changes at such a fast rate that you really have to just be very adaptive. So being like very experienced doesn't give me too much of a benefit. In fact, I feel like a lot of times people saying that a person has like more experience than the other person shouldn't really come in as a factor in terms of like 1v1 matchups or just like playing the game out. And if anything, like Faker is a great example because he started playing competitively this year and he's like world champion, OG and 2-time champion as well.
So speaking of the ways that the game changes, you know, Lulu is a very popular mid champion right now. Has either of you put in enough games on Lulu to walk us through the pros and cons of her as a mid laner specifically in the current state of the game?
Well, a good reason for why she's so strong is because of her passive. A lot of people, you have two options of building Lulu. One is the way I'd like to call it the Zamfira way, because he's the one that does it. He likes to go magic penetration on Lulu. He rushes sorcerer boots and kind of just auto attacks you to death with his passive. And the other way is the Korean way technically. They like going Grail and more defensive items and less magic penetration and just kind of harass you down with EQ. But she's a pretty annoying champion relative to the fact of her 1v1s. She's super strong in that. And if you build a tank jungler or like a damage jungler, like full damage, the Lulu makes her super tanky. So then it's just like her lack of damage is made up for her jungler's damage. I don't know. She's a pretty annoying champion to play versus personally. But
Scarra, what are your thoughts on how you bring Lulu into a team?
I think she's the next support utility mid laner. Like you go back into some old seasons, you saw Ori see a lot of play, and Ori's always been something that's like support utility. And I think Lulu's just the next iteration. She synergizes really well with tanky top lane right now, and that's like the current top lane meta. And she synergizes really well with a lot of different options. Like she just brings a lot to the team, so you're able to run a bunch of different things because she's on the team, and she has no terrible matchups, and so she's like a very safe blind pick as well.
Oh, cool. Okay, so then coming into this, of course, we have a match at the end of the day, TSM versus CLG. You guys have both played these teams individually yesterday. How do you think these two teams are going to fare? Hai, we'll start with you.
well, I'm going to have to vote for TSM, obviously. They have the more dominating score at the moment. But we did play against CLG yesterday. They played very well, and off of what I saw of the TSM Dignitas game, TSM was playing a little bit sloppy. They won the game, but it was a little bit rough, whereas CLG beat us more dominantly than TSM beat Dignitas. So if results show and they play the same way they did yesterday, CLG should win. But you know, potential. Let's see how that goes.
Potential. Dignitas, how about you?
I think CLG is a team that just snowballs really, really well. Like they know how to take a lead and just roll with it. So I think, like Dexter said, everything kind of revolves around the early game for them. Like I feel like if they don't die going to level 6, then like they've got the game, not in the bag per se, but it very much in their favor. But if they can get like, impacted off like an early drag fight or like the second blue buff or something like that, like going to a small skirmish where TSM comes out ahead, CLG has a really hard time recovering from that, I feel.
So when we had Dexter up here, we interviewed him and we asked him about the matchup, and he said he thinks that Link can really handle Bjergsen well in the mid lane. What are your guys' thoughts about that mid lane matchup?
Well, I don't think Link will die 1v1 per se. It's very hard for you to actually die 1v1 mid unless you're trying to kill the other person as well, or you're just underestimating how much damage they do. But I think the main thing is that you're going to have to watch out for mid lane. Bjergsen likes getting Adwin to gank from him. He will get blue buffs whenever he wants, and he kind of gets the lane revolved around him or the game revolved around him. So if TSM gets Bjergsen rolling and gets the game going in their favor, it's very bad for CLG. But if Link doesn't die and Doublelift can beat bottom lane, which is going to be a very interesting matchup actually, bottom.
Oh, yeah.
The 2v2, which are supposedly the best bottom lane in America. But yeah, they just gotta watch out for the mid and bot lane. Top lane is gonna be a farm fest, I imagine. But
Scarra, you smiled and nodded at that one.
Yeah, like there's not much to say about the top lane. Like I feel like there could be something that happens top lane, but I feel like bans and picks will make it so top lane stays pretty stale this game. And so the TSM snowballs their mid lane pretty much, and CLG snowballs their bot lane. So it'll be interesting to see how exactly like which strategy prevails. Like I feel like it's close to a 50-50, but I also have to give the edge to TSM by a little bit.
Okay.
It just depends how the early game plays out. Like the first 6 levels would be crucial for this game.
All right, guys, thank you very much, and good luck in your match today. Hope both of you win. I know only one can, but we'll hope for
I don't
both
think that
somehow.
works that way,
Yeah.
Freak.
Magic will be in the air tonight, guys. Now, of course, we got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to dive into our